Hello, and welcome back. Today we're gonna commentate a best of 3 for seasonal, Black and White Winter seasonal. This is the first series of the finals, and if Cow wins this, he wins the entire seasonal. If his opponent, who is Harshest or Marsanbach for the nostalgic friends, if Mars wins, I'm gonna call him Mars. I don't have it in me to call him Candle 4120 or even worse, Harshest. But yeah, if Mars wins, then these two players will have to play another series, because Cow is in winners, comes from the winners bracket, while Mars comes from the loser bracket. So let's get right into it. First off, we have a pretty standard hyper offense team from Cow, and as for Mars, we have a pretty, maybe not super standard, but sound offense kind of team. We have spikes, we have our psychics, except instead of Zam, we have Starmie. I like Starmie in this type of build, mostly because I like having spin with Tita on my team. And it's also nice with Garchomp, because if you're, let's say you're like Life Orb Chomp with rocks and Scarflando, like Hazards get really annoying with that type of build, so with spin, you know, you can get some stuff done. It also makes Ferrothor way stickier. So yeah, I like Starmie over Zam in this build. As for Cow, well, we've already seen this type of teams quite a bit recently, so not much to say, right? We have D-Knight, Chomp, Volk, sure. Scarfrachi, right, with Healing Wish, Latios, could be anything. Probably some Life Orb set, like it could even be Earthquake, say, so you Draco force Titari in Earthquake hit and then it's in Volk range. Sash Chongwei Rocks and DD Knight and Balloon Starmie, the usual. That's what I'm expecting. Leads. Probably lead Titar. If you're Mars, you could make a case for leading Starmie, maybe? You could also lead Lando, if it's Scarf, even if it's not really. So the idea behind leading Titar is that you really want Sand up as soon as possible. Sand really makes your game much easier to play against Volk, Starmie and D-Knight, and Latios too. But then you're leading Titar into Chomp, right? That's never fun. And you need your Titar alive for Volk, so that's a bit not best. But you can immediately switch to Lando, and that's okay. Problem will be that Chomp gets rocks up to 1 and then SDs, and then your Lando kind of sucks. I mean, you have Lando in against a Chomp with a free turn almost, and it will SD, and you can U-turn now to like Latios. That's a lot of damage, but then you can drop a Draco and that's okay, because Jirachi, you force Jirachi in and then you go Ferro. Ferro U-turns on Rachi U-turns. Takes Iron Barbs, and then you get Volk in and attack, probably. I think that's what's happening, but let's see. Matchup. I think Cow wins. Well, I don't know. It depends on the Latios set, I think, actually. If it's Draco, Earthquake, Fire, could be pretty strong. If you get a kill, say, on, I don't know, the Chomp, and then Mars is forced to go use on Latios, and then he has to Draco to revenge kill you, and then Volk almost wins. But yeah, I expect a Chomp versus Titar lead. Versus Lando, actually, but let's see. Oh, Starmie, sure. That was my first guess. But this is exactly why I didn't really want to lead Starmie, because there was a chance Cow would lead Jirachi, and this happens. And let's see, we would. Okay. Do they go for it? Neither player goes for it. Oh no, disaster. Chomp, Latios, very nice. Draco Meteor miss, that's pretty annoying. So it's annoying for both, right? Cal now doesn't know the Latios item, or at least he has less information than he would have if this hit. But on the other hand, Latios has pretty free Dracos except on Rachi, but Rachi cannot tank that many, and there's also Iron Bars to account for. So yeah, let's. Well, I mean, Cow this turn. If this is Specs Latios, do you Draco again? Because say Jirachi U-turns, you kill Starmie. Does it matter? Yeah, probably, actually, with this. I Draco again. Mars also Dracoed again, but Ice Punch crit? Ice Punch covers Lando, has 20% freeze chance, so not the worst, and also at least gets some good damage on Latios if it stays in like it did, but then it crits, so yeah. Okay, now Asmars, yeah, you go T-Tar because you really need Sand up, and this is a free Sand turn, kind of. Now you have, well, T-Tar can click whatever, so I guess it depends on your T-Tar's moveset. If it's rocks, this is fine. Let's see. Is it? DD? Wait. Dragon Dance T-Tar. Raise? Okay. So here's the fun bit. If you're Shuka Berry, which, I mean, I would strongly consider running Shuka Berry on DD-Tar, and you have Ice Punch. I mean, you get a free kill, but then Jirachi comes back in and does Jirachi things. But I mean, I might as well go for it, right? I think I will Ice Punch here if I'm Mars. Cow, just Earthquake. Don't need this nonsense in my life. And it is. Oh, it is not Sash Chomp. Was it Lumberry or even like Draco Plate? Means the Rocker, right? So it's probably mixed at this point, I would say. Because if you run physical rocks, you really want either Sash or Yache, I feel like. I mean, Lumberry is okay, but I don't know if I'm just bad at the game, but it never comes into play. Yeah, I know it blocks Rotom from Wisping you to one. Or you can like try to push through, say, Slowbro and other Skull users, Politoed even. But yeah, never mind. This suggests me that this was Mixed Chomp, which is good, obviously, both in general and, you know, it has a good, what's it called? Like, it can open up things for D-Knight still, so it's fine. But yeah, there is a funny one. You have to Iron Head with Rachi, but if you roll the 40% and T-Tar did this again, it's kind of... it probably goes in range of D-Knight. Maybe not, though. T-Tar is a pretty big guy. Chomp comes out, Iron Head, 32% of skin. Let's see what happens. I mean, oh, it's just Rocks Chomp. Okay. Oh yeah, right. As I said in preview, yeah, this kind of looked like, to me, a Scarf Lando Rocks Chomp kind of team. So, yeah, I mean, you could also feasibly swap them, right, around Scarf Chomp and Rocks Lando, but I think Scarf Lando is better overall, unless you're very scared of Volk, obviously, but even then, I think I'd rather like rely on my Volk, on my T-Tar, and like playing better to be Volk than just have a hard check in Scarf Chomp. So yeah, Latios comes out. Do you click? What do you click here as Latios? Do you drop a Draco? Okay, if I guess that's what I will do. And it comes out, and goodbye Starmie. Very nice. Also, one sec. Just noticed that this is not how I want the screen to look. This will be resize live. And there we go. We are back. Ready to go on. So, Latios came out, killed Starmie. Pretty nice for Cal, I will say. Starmie was a pretty strong steal. I mean, there's a Rachi, but you know. Okay, Lando comes in, confirms the Scarf. I think that was maybe not obvious, but almost. Draco again, 26%. It's DD Tar, but it's also... No, it's not. It's just DD Tar. Okay, Rachi, because you don't want to get set up on. Nice Earthquake. Not saying this was obvious, because it's never obvious, but it's not Pursuit, right? Because it's DD. So Mars rightfully threatens a DD, and Cow is forced to go Rachi. Because you don't want the T-Tar to get a DD on Latios, and everything else dies to T-Tar, especially since rocks are up. And so your only plays Rachi, right? And of course Mars outplays. That was a nice one. And now this is a pretty weird spot for Cow, because you cannot U-turn, right? There's 2 contact moves that will kill you. And especially if you U-turn on the Chomp here, you can't even spin with Starmie, right? Because it will just spam rocks and you take Sun plus Rough Skin. What do you click? What do you click? And what do you click as Mars? I think I stay in, and I may even RDD actually. RDD is... I RDD this turn, like, I already clicked it. Cow, I'm not sure what's the play here. I think you have to steal your turn, like, what else do you do? Oh, hardest army? Did he? Oh. Just Ice Beam, you cannot spin. I mean, you could, but obviously the Chomp's best place to spam rocks and you take rough skin damage, so yeah. Your turn, not sure how Mars wins from here though, because like Earthquake. Oh, just in case Cowfish Flame Body will burn, maybe? I don't know. Okay, T-Tar tanks Draco and Latios dies. You're going to die, but yeah, you can go Lando actually. Lando is a good play. Okay, so here's... Alright. Problem, you cannot click HPIs, right? Because then you instantly lose to Volk. But if you Cow can just DD here, right? Because it depends on the Volk and the Lando CVs, right? If it's modest Volk and you have Jolly Lando, you're faster, probably, but I think at that point I will bank on that if I'm Mars. I think I just click Ice here and just... Because what else can you do? You can U-turn to Ferrothorn and click Gyro Ball. Because +1 Fire Punch wouldn't kill. But then Starmie comes out... No, Starmie cannot spin on you. Oh, I think I U-turn to Ferrothorn. Oh, it's Stone Edge, and that did 0. Okay, but enough to put it in Sun range. Ooh. Wait, and now Girachi comes out and... Wait. You just go Ferton here, right? Like, what could Girachi click? Realistically. Ice Punch? Ferrothorn takes 0. U-turn? Sure. But again, Ferrothorn takes 0. Healing Wish? Yeah, but... you Healing Wish Starmie, and then there's a Ferrothorn in the field, so... But it depends on the Ferrothorn moves, right? Because if you don't have... You need Gyro Ball, right? If you're Gyro Ball, I think you go Ferrothorn here, because then Volk cannot Quiver Dance, because it will take how much? 30-40% from Gyro Ball when at +1 speed, and then you die to Rounds of Sun, and then Landorus wins. There's also the possibility of... I don't know, there's a million of things that could happen. It could also very well be Citrus Volk, and then this game is kind of tough. I think the play is Tita here for Mars. The problem with Tita... No, there's no problem with Tita. I think you could just go Tita. If Starmie comes out, you DD up. Because it kind of wants to spin, and if it doesn't, well, then you go land and click Earthquake. Ferrothorn is okay, but let's see what happens. Okay, no freeze, nice. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Volk has to Quiver this. You cannot fire move. You die to Lando, so let's see if it is the Gyro Ball and if it does enough damage. Oh, that's barely not enough. No way. Well, you stay in. Okay, you go Lando here and then immediately switch to Teeter. Or just go Teeter, either way. Very nice played by Mars. Yeah, this was a nice game. He wins, because Scarf Lando will kill Starmie. Very good game, nice. I enjoyed this one. Anything... Lead was hard, like, I don't think either player got it wrong, like... Yeah, the standard will be chomp into Lando, but both players recognize that their opponent is not making the standard lead, so yeah, sure. Alright, on to game 2. And we have Mars versus Cow again. Whoa, would you look at that? And we have Rain versus Rain. But Mars went for a older kind of Rain build. This is Big 6 Rain. Polito, Tentacruel, Ferrothorn, Keldeo, Thundurus, Latios. And it's usually Scarf Latios. I believe it specs Keldeo and substitute Thundurus, but obviously that's the old version. Nowadays, you can run DS6, but you probably need slightly different items, or at least you're not locked into... Like, you can run, let's say, Agility Thundurus, you can make Keldeo Scarf, you can make Keldeo Calmine 3 attacks, you can make Keldeo... You can keep it specs, obviously. You can make it Sword Dance, 6 Scissor, Shoutout Peng. And yeah, as for Cow, Landorus, Herian. We see it pop up in Rain every now and then. Good things about Landorus, it's a Scarfer. At least I expect it to be Scarf on this team. And it gives fast U-turn, which is always nice. Kind of helps with the Alakazam issue that Rain has. So that's always nice. Or you could even make a case for like specially defensive Landorus, I think. That would still help against several Alakazam sets, at least somewhat. And it gives you a solid Stealth Rock user. Because Ferrothorn, I don't like double Hazard's Ferrothorn. I think it's very, I don't know, exploitable, weak. Call it how we want. Like, it's very rare for me to be able to get a lot of hazard down with it, but maybe just skill issue. But yeah, I expect this to be Scarflando anyway. Could be Scarfrox, obviously. That's a bit extreme though. Starmie, the usual. So if you do Scarflando, you can run Specs, Latios, or some other set. I'm not sure which one right now. And Thunderous, you can make it Plot, or even Sub, you know. A set has fallen off, but it can still work. It's not like it's a bad set, it's just not super meta. Okay, so let's see. What do you lead with? I lead Latios if I'm Cow. If my opponent leads Ferrothorn, I cry. Yeah. But, you know, I'm clicking Latios, I'm feeling Latios. As for Mars... do you lead Keldeo? If it specs Keldeo, I would lead Keldeo. Like... It's only terrible into a Latios lead. And maybe Ferrothorn, depending on a few things. Neither player really wants to lead Polito, right? I think that's just trolling. I mean, Rain versus Rain, you really don't want Polito to lead. It's pretty weak. Okay, I lead Latios if I'm Cow and Keldeo if I'm Mars. I'm assuming this specs Keldeo, but if it's not, you can maybe lead Thunderous. If you have especially defensive Thunderous, which should be the most common set nowadays, probably, maybe, somewhat, I don't know, I don't play this tier that much anymore, probably, yeah, but what do you do then? If you're T-Wave, sure, but nobody does that, except me. Lead Ferrothorn if you're Mars? But, I don't know, I don't like it. Let's see what Mars does. I will pretend that was I wanted. Okay, Latios called it, nice. Oh, just about Latios, sure. And both players are switching out to their Ferrothorn, watch this. And both players are Handshake Rocks / Spikes. Okay, it is Rocks Ferrothorn, so we know it's Scarflando, basically guaranteed. Unless Cow is a madman and runs like Rock Polish, Thunderous and Rain, that would be surely a choice of all times. That I would not endorse, but I'm not the one in finals of the seasonal, so he knows more than me for sure. Okay, Cow immediately goes into Thunderous. I don't think Mars is switching out though, I think he is getting spikes up. Let's see. Oh, he is. So the idea behind the other Thunderous is that, well, now you can do a lot of damage, obviously, but I don't like it still because there's a Latios here, so you're kind of flipping coins in a sense. Because you want to Focus Blast, right? But if you Focus Blast into Latios, you've given up one layer of spikes and potentially 20% of your Thunderous health for nothing. That said, it's not like you have that many other plays, right? With the 6 into Ferrothorn. I mean, neither player really, but Mars at least has a Tentacruel. It's slightly better, I would say. Although Rain is not up yet, so not really. But the thing is, you can sacrifice your Politodon Ferrothorn and then go Tentacruel Spin, and your Tentacruel will survive the Power Whip. So you have chances to bring it back up in health, because Protect and Rain Dish is good at the game. It's only for players who are good at the video game. Whereas Starmie will just die to Ferrothorn and then Ferrothorn gets him up again for free, though, you know. Okay, let's see what Cow clicks. Leftover Thunderous, expected I will say. Latios comes out, and what did we click? Probably Focus Blast, right? Oh, just Hardened Power, nice. So here you have to switch out, but Latios is clicking Recover, I think. You can stay in and HPIs and fish, kind of, but I mean, do you want to? If this is Agility Thunderous, which not out of the question, kind of solos. The same goes for these Thunders, by the way. It's a very funny matchup. Okay, Fertor came in on the Latios, probably getting a spike up. Must go back to his own Ferro, sure. Both players are just spiking up, probably. Ooh, Keldeo. Now it's time for Mars to do the aggressive play and get in something that threatens Ferro out. Neither Ferro has leftovers. Okay, Keldeo is leftovers though, so the problem with this is that Keldeo does not KO Ferrothorn. On the other hand, the Ferrothorn, you want to preserve the Ferrothorn at least for a bit, right? Because otherwise Draco Meteor will just nuke your entire team into orbit. And so what you do as Kauyer, you probably just switch to your own Latios. I think that's the play. Simple. Yeah, like, you just switch to the counter, man. This game is not hard at all. Alright, 33%, and since it's Scarflando, allegedly, this is Specs Latios, right? And this Ferrothorn does not have leftover, so it could be offensive. I had the Draco this turn. Oh. Yeah, this could happen, and then, you know... Oh, it is Psyshock. Okay, Psyshock is a good move here. So, the problem with Draco is that if Politoed comes in, Politoed dies, and then you have a -2 Latios, and Tentacle comes in and spins for free, and basically nuking your entire game plan. And so, since this Latios had Psyshock, it clicked it. It covers everything, Ferrothorn, except Ferrothorn, and I guess Latios, but Latios is never coming in, right? And Ferrothorn, well, yes, but you know, it takes rocks and spikes and does not have lefties, so even if you do, say, 20% with Psyshock instead of 35 with Draco, that's fine. What matters is not giving up the free turns. And Politoed comes out, wait. No item on Politoed. Is it chest? I mean, we may never know. It could very well be Cast Up Berry. I think that's a cool one. Oh. That's a bad crate. Now you're forced into Ferrothorn. That's fine-ish. Okay, did we maximum grade and... Ooh, nice double by Mars. That's a nice play. And now Keldeo's in. It's leftist Keldeo. Okay, so... Latios will die to Hydro Pump after rocks. Starmie lives, but... I guess you go Politoed here, if you're cow. Oh, just Harsh Starmie, sure. Hydro Pump is gonna do a... Nah, it's not Hydro Pump. Okay, so Scaldus Water, 180 base power in rain. Hydro Pump has 270. 270 is what? 1/3 more, so it would have done like 55, 56%. Is that right? Oh, halved, yeah, of course, 90 and 135, but it's the same thing, really. Yes, like 50 something, 56. Okay, never mind, not enough to put it in Iron Bar's range, so never mind, Stami was always the right play. Ferrothorn. Why not? Nah, Ferrothorn. Okay, I was thinking. Oh yeah, no, because Latios was a Scarfer, right? So you cannot. Right, so if you had Latios alive, you could sacrifice Politoed to Hazards to block the spin and then go Latios. And then the Starmie will be in a pretty bad spot. But since Latios got died to a crate, yeah, you go Ferrothorn. And probably just click rocks. Yeah, I know, it's not great, but you click rocks. These are the rocks of desperation, by the way. Like, you are kind of fishing for item on miss, I think. Just click. Yeah, sure. Gyro. And Thunderous. And I think. Yeah. Nah, you stay in. You don't. There's a chance this is substitute Thunderous. Nobody runs it anymore, and it probably isn't because it hard HPIs the Latios instead of subbing on Ferro the first time. So it's probably not. Ferrothorn is not gonna do anything anyway from here. Even if you save your Ferrothorn at 15% or so, you maybe get some damage on the enemy Ferrothorn, but whatever. That's... yeah. Okay. So if this is sub Keldeo, this is an interesting spot. Except it's not. It's probably just Karma entry attacks. If this was sub... well, no, because Chaos Stadium. Alright. Goodbye Politoed, and Psyshock is coming out, right? And then you go Thunderous, and... if you're Agility, you click it, right? Oh, it just dies. Never mind. Game over. And unfortunately, though, with Psyshock Latios, I'm not sure Mars could win this. I mean, he could have, right? It's Mons. Latios was pretty strong. So maybe, yeah. Definitely doable. More doable than with a crit. I think I'll still wins this in the long run, because he has Psyshock Latios. Specs Psyshock Latios. That's just rough for Rain. When your spinner is Tentacruel and your Ferrothorn does not have lefties. I mean, even with lefties on Ferrothorn, this was always tough. If you have a Starmie over Tentacruel, easier, sure. But yeah. Still nicely played by both. The first few turns were fun. The double Latios lead into double Ferrothorn, yeah. And both also got an aggressive switch onto the Ferrothorn, onto the respective Ferrothorn, so that was fun. Yeah, nice. Let's get on to game 3. We have... oh. Mamo Hyper Offense. I mean, that it makes sense, right? Mamoswine really struggles into other Hyper Offense teams. It's very good at dismantling FAT though, right? Not all FAT teams, but a lot of stall teams kind of fold to Mamo. Or not fold, but are very weak to it. Unless you have a Slowbro plus Kermory, it's kind of harder to do anything against Mamo. Or even, like, look at Chaos Team this game. This is not that good into Mamoswine. So just Ice Shard. If you get Mamo in and rocks are up, although I think this is such Mamo actually, so it is the rocker, so probably not as powerful. Although you could also very well run like Rocks Rachi. And if you have Rocks Rachi, you can run Ban Mamo or Mermelt Ice, even with Substitute, perhaps on this type of team, I don't know. I can see it, although I'm expecting this to be like Rocks Mamo. It doesn't have to be such necessarily. But yeah. I don't know, these are a pretty weird team. I think it's Kalma and Keldeo with like a Berry, and Didi, D-Knight. Yeah, probably. I mean, if we go by this most standard combination, then yeah, it's that. But I can see... I would run something funky on this, like the aforementioned Rocks Rachi. Like, Dragmax, Jirachi, that kind of set on this, sure, why not? If you feel good at the video game, you can click Thunder and get some para action going, and then Mamoswine feasts upon the enemy team, right? That's pretty cool. And with that said, you obviously lose Healing Wish, but there's not really good Healing Wish targets here anyway. Maybe in a certain sense, Keldeo. But if you do that, what do you run, like Scarflatius, or do you run... Well, you have two strong priorities, right? You have Ice Shard and Extreme Space, so you can also... That's probably fine. Yeah, I would run Calm Mind 3 attacks, Keldeo, Rox, Rachi, Never Melt Ice Mamo maybe, or Alien Choice Band. Then you have Extreme Speed, D-Knight, probably Balloon Star, and Latius. I don't know. Latius could be whatever. What could be a Latius on Hyper Offense? You just run whatever moves you want. Like you just don't like Life or Draco Meteor Earthquake, man. I don't know. Although it doesn't make much sense with this, so probably not. It could be that Sunny Day set that we've seen a couple of times already. It's Sunny Day, Solar Beam, HP Fire, Draco Meteor. So one thing hyper offense teams like this struggle with, it's weather, right? So if sun is up, everything gets chipped, and enemy team gets a couple plays going, maybe rocks up, and then you're kind of losing just by existing on the field. Sunny Day flips that. It's not even sort of the flex play. A Stitar comes in, you Sunny Day and the Solar PV. That could happen, but it's pretty, let's say, wishful thinking. Let's say. By the way, I'm not sure why the Tyranitar's sprite isn't loading. I guess I don't know. We don't like Tyranitar here. Because only playing with 5 mons. Wow. Yeah. So you could very well be running Sunny Day Latios, and it's not for the flex play again, although it could happen, I'm not discounting it, but it's more so you clear the weather for D-Knight, for example, right? If your left is D-Knight and you remove Sand, D-Knight becomes considerably stronger. Keldeo also likes it, although you kind of have to time it properly, right? Because if Sun is still up and you send Keldeo in, it's like, no, I cannot. I'm alpha Pokemon, less than half probably, a third of a Pokemon, and also Starmie has the same issue, quote unquote, but that's not important usually. Like, it's still more valuable than just keeping Sand up. But I could also be completely wrong, and this could be any other Latios set. It could be Dragon Dance, for all I know. Why not? Dragon Dance, Outrage, Fire Move, and Earthquake? Yeah, sure, why not? Then Headbutt for Toxapex, yeah. Right, so leads. If it is Rox Rachi, which I really hope it is, it sounds fun. And we're all about fun, right? As we will then be playing Pokemon. That's a lie, isn't it? We play this game because we're addicted. We're trapped into the eternal cycle of pain and grief that this game brings upon us. Alright. I lead Jirachi and click Rocks. If it's Rox Mamo, I don't think you lead it. You're cool. Really? I think you lead Lando if you're Cow. And if you... I mean, you lead Lando because if there's a non-zero chance your opponent leaves Mamoswine, and at least you have intimidated it, you can hard Keldeo and that's okay, because you get lefties. Yeah, that's about it. Another good thing about Latios Sniper Offense is that it makes you not instantly lose to Keldeo, which a lot of other teams do. Although not the most recent, like, Kong versions, because Keldeo just laughs in Keldeo's face. But yeah, let's see. I will lead Lando and I will lead Rachi and click rocks. And if it's not rocks Rachi, I will be very upset. So do not make me upset. Keldeo comes out. That's a standard lead kind. Dragonite? Sorry, what? Is it choice band D-Knight? So if it's choice band, you can lead it and click Ice Punch. Is that a play? I mean, it is kind of. Maybe it's mixed. Maybe it's Draco Meteor D-Knight. I mean, why not? It's not very good, I think, but it's possible. But yeah, the problem is that I don't think Helio dies from Draco Meteor, so it will die to the extreme speed that comes up next, but you kind of guessing. So instead, Mars switches to Keldeo, probably expecting Icy Wind. Even if you're lower, you're okay with that. Oh, it is just HP Ice. Okay. This is actually very good news for Mars, because now he knows... What does he know? What does Mars know? Nothing, right? I mean, you click Secret Sword here, I believe. I think both will click Secret Sword, and it looks like both are click. Oh, never mind. Yeah, sure, HP, Grass, which does exactly the same damage as Secret Sword, so yeah, I guess there's that. You go for it? No, looks like I expect either player to go for it again. Never mind, Mars did go for it, wow, insane. And he gets a crit, always rewarded by the way. Just attack, man, he will crit eventually. That's my piece of advice for today. What? Wait. Okay, so Cow goes Latios on the Keldeo, okay, fair, right? Mars clicks HP Grass again. And then he completely reads Cow's double switch. Because like, yeah, but you know, my opponent is going Jirochi, so I will go Lando and get rocks up. It also tells you if you're faster, right? If you do this. What was the switch order? I think the fastest mon switches last. So if you double out like this, you could... I don't know, maybe that was only on Pokemon Online. Right, so I don't know, I don't remember, but I believe, I mean, depending on who switches first, you get to know whether the Latios... wait, no, Latios is always faster than Keldeo, right, so never mind. As you know that the Latios is not modest, which would be pretty fucking weird, but since you're not playing as Chon 29, but you know, never mind that. So anyway, Mars understands or expects Cow to double out. Again, the standard play here would be to go Rachi as Mars, and Cow is like, yeah, but why would they bother Dracoing when this is probably Scarf Latios? So if you Draco the Rachi, you do what, 28%, and that's really not what you want to spend your Latios turn on. So he goes Lando. Lando is pretty threatening, and yeah. And again, if I remember correctly, the slower mon switches first, Jirchi will come in before Lando, so you will intimidate the Rachi, and then you can at least threaten things. Like, you can click rocks, you can U-turn if you expect Mars to switch out, you can Earthquake if you're Chad. So yeah, but Mars reads it, very good play, and gets a Scald on Lando. Does he get the burn? Does he get rewarded for his play? It does, and wow. And Lando is slower than Keldeo, so Keldeo is calling again. And if he gets a burn here, it's very tough for Cow. Oh wow, and he got it. Now you are the Jirochi. And Kyle's kind of forced to Drake. Okay, I guess he decided he didn't need Kel anymore, which is fair. Kel is, at this point, he's done his job. And you prevent Trick. Although they're probably both Scarf. I don't know yet. I'm still holding... I still holding dear my expectation of this being Rock Slashy. And it is Rock Slashy, hell yeah! It's probably Body Slam your turn. Okay, RD Knight, and it is Choice Band. Or at least it looks like it's Choice Band. Fire Punch, okay. Fire Punch doesn't reveal as much, could still be a Berry. Or if you reach Berry, you click Outrage here. It's not, sad. Latios gonna take 50 from HPIs. And what do you click here as Mars? Double back into D-Knight? Is Kao doing again the most safe play, which would be going Ferrothorn? Or do you think he might consider... staying in, because he's been getting kind of outplayed so far, so he might want to make some aggressive plays himself. What do you do here? If I'm Mars, I go D-Knight. My heart is telling me Kao is staying in and attacking, but my brain is telling me to go D-Knight. What do I do? I listen to my heart. I click Draco Meteor. And I will lose. My heart is a prankster. What can you do? And Mars agrees with me, it seems, and Draco sends us 30% to Teeter. And probably just pursue it as... if you... nah, just pursue, man. And that's the Latios. And now comes Mamoswine. And probably just a Cycle Crash. Oh. Nah, I think I was always sacrificing Titaria. And even if it's not... I mean, what else do you send on a Cycle Crash from here? Keldo tanks one, probably takes what, 35 plus rocks? So it would die to Ice Shard, since you're not choiced. Anything else will take a gazillion damage, except maybe Ferton may tank too, but who cares? Oh, whatever. This sub was a bit not great, I think, but it probably doesn't matter because your mom is not tanking any hit anyway. So you can afford to spend a substitute. Okay, Keldeo into Starmie. You know this Keldeo does not have a move to hit Starmie. I mean, unless it's 6 or but let's say it's not. Because it says HPIs, right? So there's no Hidden Power Bug or Grass or Electric or whatever. Okay, T-Bolt. Kind of had to double out to D-Knight, but it could be an extreme troll. I'd go for it anyway, and so does Mars. Okay, very nice, and you get... if you have Superpower, you click Superpower. I mean, probably doesn't matter because Fire Punch will kill everything anyway. Okay. It reveals you're not Superpower, which may or may not matter. Okay, nice Fire Punch. Now... you have to go Ratch here, I think. Let me... oh... I think this burn kind of seals it. Because immediately onto D-Knight protects. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Alright, so the idea here is that now you click Extreme Speed again, or well, you should consider clicking Extreme Speed again, and Cow protects, right? Next turn, you can switch to Starmie as Cow goes Ferrothorn, and Starmie will die to burn plus sand, which means you get Dragonite in again for free and click Fire Punch and get 1 kill. Because Ferrothorn dies, Keldeo dies, Alakazam probably dies. Alakazam is like an old frame man. He's got the aura, that's why his psychic attack is so high, but that's about it. Right, so if I Cow, I don't protect here, I hard Ferrothorn without a second thought. Because protect... Yes, see, now Starmie is coming in. It will die to burn, sand, and whatever, and then you get a... No way! Okay, I guess Cow realized the same thing I did, and so tried to stop the plan from happening, but Mars instead decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just attacking, and very good call. It worked great. In fact, I will make a case that going Starmie there still wins if it's U-turn Rachi, because then you go Rachi on the Zam and U-turn out, and then get... If Keldeo comes in, it's probably nice shard range, because it takes rocks, so 37, plus the U-turn will do, what, 10%? Maybe not yet, actually. No, never mind. I guess it will depend on the Rachi moves, but at this point I think this Rachi cannot hit the Ferrothorn, so yeah, this is miles better than what I was concocting. Okay, so nice play. I think this seals the game, because now Ferrothorn comes out, and now you go Starmie on the Ferrothorn. I mean, you can double to Keldeo maybe, but does it do anything? Okay, if it's rocks, but it's not because it's spikes, because there's a Lando here. So I mean, if it was rock, maybe it would have been fine. 42, nah, too healthy still. Okay, Amazon. Not even Earthquake. Not sure why. What? Well, I'm not sure why Dragonite didn't come out. I mean, I see why you will take Sun plus Iron Barbs. You're still alive, then you can switch out to Keldeo, and then I guess you don't want to get like triple protected. So but then why you crash and not Earthquake? If this Beast, it could have been very bad actually. It depends on Rachi moveset again, so I guess, but why not just Earthquake, man? This crush feels completely off to me, but whatever. Didn't matter. Okay, Fire Punch, goodbye Keldeo. Probably would have died to Sunday anyway, so yeah. Crit and count, didn't matter. And it's done. Ferrothorn will die to Fire Punch. Shocker, I know. And another crit, 2 crits in a row. Good job, Mars. That's how the champions play. Alright, very good game. The part where Alakazam died like that was pretty hype. The only thing I'm not convinced by is the Ice Cycle crash at the end on the Ferrothorn. If you miss there, it gets kind of... probably doesn't matter because... Wait, no, it absolutely does. Doesn't it? I guess it depends again on the Rachi moveset and the Ferro moveset, but it's probably Lamberry and Explosion, I guess. Power Whip. I don't know. Okay. Well, cool series. And music died. Fantastic. Okay. Just in case. Shoutout YouTube for never functioning properly, as is customary. And very fun series. Good job both. And there's another series, because this was the first series of finals, because again, Cow was in winner's bracket, Mars was in lower bracket, so Cow has 2 leaves, so to speak. So they play again. So yeah, hopefully it's another quality series like this one. And yeah, good job and see you next time.